undercooked, overcooked, unevenly cooked steak, burger sticking to the grate, unpleasant, off flavors. All these mess-ups can turn your dream of a perfect barbecue into a headache. But don't sweat it. Today I'm going to tackle the reasons and help you dodge those mistakes so that you can get to the fun part, grilling. So you can look forward to a perfect steak, burger, whatever, every time. Let's do it! You have either already bought your first grill and started using it, or you are planning to buy one, but already started to learn grilling basics and techniques. Here is my kettle, so far the only one I have. I have been using it for 5 years already, both for grilling and for smoking. Either way, you are going to run into problems or mistakes during grilling, but this is normal, this is okay. We learn on our mistakes, but you can significantly save your time, money and nerves by doing things right from the get-go. Alright folks, let me tell you, it's a big mistake to only buy a charcoal grill and do not invest in other key grilling gear. Here is the bare minimum kit you will need. You will need a brush, you will need a tongs, you will need a spatula, heavy one, and you will need a thermometer. A grill brush is a must-have. You can easily scrape off any stubborn residues from the grill grates, allowing for a cleaner cooking surface and preventing any potential flare-ups during grilling. It also prevents sticking. Generally, brushes are your main consumable item. Depending on how often you grill, I personally need to replace mine about every 6 months. Tongs. It's even better to have a couple. Maybe you are a squeamish and concerned about using the same tongs for raw and cooked meat. Or if you have used these tongs for handling charcoal, you wouldn't want ash and soot to end up on your meat. They are also handy if you don't have heat-resistant gloves for removing and replacing the grill grate. Spatula, it's pretty simple here. If you don't want all the crust from your burgers sticking to the grill grate, you will need a solid, sturdy spatula to lift the patty off in one swift move, along with the crust. Thermometers. That's another story. Honestly, when I started using thermometers, that's when the whole beauty of barbecuing opened up for me. For a beginner, it's virtually impossible to control the temperature and thus the degree of doneness without them. Remember, grilling is a part art and part science, so don't ignore modern gadgets. This topic deserves its own video. Yeah, almost forgot, a chimney starter. It will definitely make your grilling much easier, especially when you need to add charcoal to a grill that is already in use. And the charcoal baskets too. These are really important when you need two-zone grilling, but also want the charcoal level even and high enough to maintain optimal heat. If your coals are too low, you will end up with a poor crust on your steak, believe me. Okay, charcoal. Charcoal is the big one. And the first thing you need to keep in mind is the charcoal quality. It's not exactly a mistake, but it can be a real bummer. Sometimes you buy a bag of charcoal and half of it is dust and rubbish. In the end, you might not have enough of good charcoal for cooking. And let me tell you, this dust can produce a lot of smoke. But if you decide to use such charcoal, then never put it directly into the grill. First, pour it into a chimney starter, and when the charcoal is ready, shake the basket several times. Just check the bag before you buy it. Make sure it's mostly whole pieces, not just dust and debris. It is as simple as giving it a squeeze in the store. The next one is using the wrong type of charcoal. Now let's do a quick comparison. Lump charcoal versus pressed briquettes. The first thing you will notice is the difference in the smell and the smoke. Lump charcoal gives off a pleasant, natural aroma and smoke that feels just right for a barbecue session. On the other hand, those pressed briquettes can produce a rather harsh, acrid odor. You might not think much of it, but here is the kicker. That strong smell can make its way into your food. Yes, that harsh aroma can penetrate into your steak, and we definitely don't want that happening. The most important factor though is the heat. When we are grilling, especially when we are grilling steaks, we need that heat to be as high as possible. This high heat gives us that perfect crispy crust in the shortest amount of time. And what's the advantage? Well, this means the inside of the steak stays nice and pink and the gray overcooked ring around the edge is kept to a minimum. In other words, it is a surefire way to get a beautifully cooked steak every time. So, when you are standing in that store aisle deciding between lamb charcoal and briquettes, remember what we have learned today. It can make a difference between a good steak and a great one. Therefore, it is necessary to also avoid the following mistake: not properly lighting the charcoal. Okay, you wanna toss that charcoal into the grill when it's got a good burn going. And here is why. No more excess smoke from the charcoal lighting up and you will have a stable temperature. If you toss in charcoal that is not fully lit, your temperature is going to be like a roller coaster. And it is definitely not what we want when we're trying to achieve that perfect crust. Now, if you fill that chimney starter to the brim, the top layer of charcoal might not light up. No problem. Just add it to the grill and let it finish lighting up there. You can even give it a little boost by fanning it. And hey, you don't need a fully loaded chimney starter. Use charcoal baskets and you will be good with about 2/3 to 3/4 of a chimney. It is efficient and gets the job done. Alright, let's hit it fast. If you are grilling a lot, sometimes you might feel too lazy to clean the grill. But listen up, this is crucial unless you want your fancy $20 prime steak tasting like ancient smoked pork fat and burnt spices. All the grease, fibers, spices and seasoning from your previous cookout can scorch and give off a nasty flavor, or at the very least, mess with the true taste of that awesome ribeye you are trying to perfect. So don't skimp on the cleaning, your taste buds will thank you. Keep the grill grates clean and make every steak count. The next mistake is ventilation. Now, if you mess up with your vents, your temperature is going to be all over the place. Here is the deal. Your grill has got two vents, one on the bottom and one on top. Think of them like the grill nostrils. Got to let it breathe, right? The bottom vent lets air in and the top vent lets it out. Pretty simple. Begin with the bottom vent open and the top one halfway. Similar to stretching before a workout. This loosens things up and prepares them. Monitor the temperature and if it starts to climb too high, close the bottom vent slightly. If the temperature stays low, open the vent a bit. The top vent is your flavor guru. Open it up to let the smoke escape quickly for less smoky flavor and close it to trap that smoky goodness in. Stay cool and keep tweaking those vents till you hit the sweet spot. Get the ventilation right and you will be a grill maestro, my friend. Okay, rust on the grill grates. This is a short one. One day I made the mistake of leaving my grill exposed to the rain with the top vent open. Consequently, the grill developed rust. Simply scrubbing won't do. Rust turns into the fine particles that can mix with grease and end up on your food. So, store your grill in a sheltered area if possible. If it is not an option, ensure that the vents are closed to minimize moisture. Now you know the basic mistakes to avoid when using charcoal grill. But let's not forget, grilling is both art and science. Yes, this knowledge will be a good start for you. But if you want those super awesome steaks with crispy crust and juicy inside, there is much more to learn. Watch this video about common mistakes beginners make when grilling steaks. It should be somewhere here, but if you are seeing something else, then most probably this video is not yet ready and it will be ready in 1 or 2 weeks. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Peace. Wait a minute, are you still here? What are you waiting for? Go check this video now!